The college football experience, Tennessee Volunteers 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, brought to you by our very own Patreon. Score exclusive perks, content, and contest, including our NFL win totals contest with $1,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app to get last minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed. Use the promo code CFBX for $20 off. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Jerry Glanville, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Tennessee Volunteers 2023 season preview. Oh, what a season. Josh Heupel putting them back on the map. Obviously, that fantastic game where you stormed the field, took down the goalpost, and brought the goalpost to the fucking Tennessee River. Awesome. I think that's probably the thing that everyone remembers most about this college football season last year was that Alabama game. Unbelievable game. Look, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Talking ball football. Hey, Peyton Manning's teaching a class now. I don't even want to ask what the class is, unless it's a quarterback camp. Manning Academy. He's a professor now.
Professor Peyton.
Professor Peyton Manning. They got Heath Schuler. Isn't he like a governor or something? I feel like he is.
Yeah.
He's something, all right? And they got Navy Schuler on this roster. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, which you need to be subscribed to, folks. They call him the man in the box. I give you a CJ Sullivan. How you doing, brother?
Yes, Dundee. Great time to be here doing Tennessee Volunteers. Now we're getting into some juicy stuff.
Oh, what a great season. 11 wins a season ago. Nobody saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I got to be honest, even though this is we are a Mike Leach podcast, may he rest easy.
Yep.
And I know he recruited Josh Heupel, and I thought Josh Heupel had done a decent job as an OC at Missouri, and then even at UCF. I didn't think he would get Tennessee going like this.
Yeah.
11 wins in year 2 after a 7-6 season to start.
Well, especially when he took over for it. It was a debacle.
Yeah. Jeremy Pruitt handing out bags of cash. Well, they've been doing that in Tennessee for a long time. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
But like 50 people left. It was ridiculous.
It was self-imposed. That's what I love. We reported it on ourselves, so we didn't have to pay him that ridiculous contract.
Yeah.
But hell, what a season a year ago. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Obviously, Heupel is looking like a genius fucking hire right now, right? But the question is can they sustain it? Because Hendon Hooker gone. You look back a season ago, they did have a 3-point win against Alabama. They did have a 5-point win against the Florida Gators. They did have an overtime win against Pitt where Keaton Slovis got injured in the second quarter. So can they sustain those close wins and can they build on it? I know they have a great NIL collective. What do you make of Josh Heupel?
Well, you gotta love Josh Heupel. I mean, he was great at Central Florida, 28-8 out down there. And he came in and then he, they brought that offense in. I mean, that offense is amazing. Yeah. 46 points a game.
Yeah.
They're fun. He brought back fun to Rocky Top.
I agree.
I mean, he's got the kids playing dodgeball together. They're going bowling and
everything.
Yeah, 520 yards a game. That also helps.
Definitely 520 yards a game. Wow. Fantastic stuff. Now here's the thing. Greg Sankey issued a thing saying teams could get fined and potentially, they were talking about suspending, games, meaning you could get 2 straight home games against a certain team. Now it turns out they just did a gigantic fine because they don't want you to rush the field and take down the goalpost anymore, which I highly encourage. I think if you beat Alabama,
right.
I don't give and shout out to Tennessee's athletic director when this happened. He's like, I don't care about the fine. Now this year they put a stronger fine in there, but I'll be honest. Look, Tennessee fans, you guys were great. That was a great scene in college football last year. I think it's the thing that I think of most out of all of college football season last year. It's not Georgia winning the national championship. It's the Tennessee moment against Alabama, right? So when Texas A&M comes to town this year, if they're preseason at the time, if they're top 10, top 15, I expect you to do the same fucking thing. All right, let's go. All right, we're going to talk offense, defense, special teams, transfer portal, and go game by game on the Vols schedule. What do you make of that dog Smokey they got?
Smokey dog, I like that.
He's nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he can travel well, unlike the Uga Bulldog. They've gone through about 12 of them because those Bulldogs can't go more than past their driveway. And they lock him in that box and put him on a bus. Are you kidding me?
Smokey's great. He'll solve a fucking murder mystery too.
Smokey's got a pipe, a trench coat.
Yeah, he's good. Folks, we're gonna talk all that. We're gonna go game by game on the Vols schedule. But before we do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience Tennessee Volunteers season preview is brought to you by Game Time. Look, buying tickets to your favorite events shouldn't be that stressful. Say you were going to that Alabama game a year ago and you didn't have those tickets. You didn't have those tickets until last second. Whew, I could imagine you probably paid double, triple, maybe quadruple what the tickets would have been in August. But in general, I'm sure it was stressful because you wanted to be a part of that experience. I mean, jumping down to the Tennessee River, throwing the goalpost in the Tennessee River, amazing.
That's incredible.
I've been to the stadium, by the way. They do college football right in Knoxville. Yeah,
men wear a suit. Bring a formal date.
Bring a formal date. They go.
Yeah.
You know what I like about their stadium is right outside the stadium is like I'm talking. It's like they did a row of bars, and then they said, "Let's put a stadium right in the middle of these fucking bars."
I know it is, and they get
fantastic.
And they get after it. They get after.
Oh, they do. Yeah. They do, folks. Look. So it shouldn't be that stressful. You should be on when I went to the Tennessee game, I was on a pontoon boat, sucking down adult beverages. All right, and it wasn't that stressful because I had bought my tickets, months before. But I can imagine it being very stressful if you haven't figured that out. And look, Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, the music, the comedy, and the theater all near you with killer deals, on last minute tickets and their best price guarantee. You can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped over the fun you're going to have at the games. So forget planning months in advance. All right. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. And you get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. And get this, they got the Game Time guarantee, which means you'll always get the best price. If you were to somehow find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you with 110% of the difference. Yes, snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, terms apply. Create that account and then the redeeming code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, we are back on the college football experience. Tennessee Volunteers season preview. And boy, what a season it was a year ago. Their first double-digit win season since 2007, CJ Sullivan.
Amazing.
That was a 15, 16-year drought there.
I loved it. I had tickets on them all year. 90-1 win all these things. All the
man, you got to wonder if Hendon Hooker doesn't get injured, where they would have been. They would have been. But all right, let's talk about what is departing. The transfer portal, obviously batshit crazy, but Tennessee's got a fantastic NIL collective. So you can imagine what the future of the Vol football program may look like. Departing though is defensive lineman Dejon Terry heading out to the Oklahoma Sooners, who will be in the SEC 1 year from now. Cornerback Gerard Gentry, no relation to Dennis. He is in the portal.
Tecmo Bowl legend Dennis Gentry.
There we go.
Brought that opening kickoff to the house.
Oh yeah. Safety Cameron Miller. He said, I had enough time in Knoxville. I'm going down to Memphis, hanging out at BB King's. He's a Tiger now. Athlete Derek Taylor's in the portal. Punter Colby Morgan heads out to the Thundering Herd of Marshall. Go do some meth in old Huntington. Huntington. Yeah. Defensive lineman Amari McNeil heading out to the Colorado Buffaloes and Deion Sanders. Quarterback Traven Jackson, supposed to be a starter, by the way, at the Indiana Hoosiers. He heads out to Bloomington. Penciled in as the day one starter against the Ohio State Buckeyes. So let's lay the 28 there. Linebacker Juwan Mitchell. He heads to the Arizona State Sun Devils. Cornerback Romello Edwards portal. Wide receiver Lucien Brunetti portal. Offensive tackle RJ Perry follows offensive coordinator Alex Galesh to USF in Tampa. Wide receiver Walker Merrill heading to Wake Forest and Dave Clawson. Offensive tackle Will Parker to Trent Dilfer and UAB. Defensive lineman Jordan Phillips heading to the Maryland Terrapins. Offensive lineman Savion Herring in the portal. Tight end Miles Campbell heading out to North Carolina Central, who won the Celebration Bowl a year ago. Wide receiver Jimmy Holiday said, I had enough of this. I'm going to Western Kentucky where they throw the ball 7 million times a game. We only threw it 6 million here at Tennessee last year. Jimmy Callaway, also another wide receiver, heading out to Jeff Brom and the Louisville Cardinals. Running back Lenneth Whitehead. Oh man, going to the Georgia Bulldogs. I got something just for that. I mean, what the fuck is going on here? The Georgia Bulldogs coming in and grabbing your guy.
That's
ridiculous. Running back Justin Williams Thomas also heads out to the Cal Golden Bears to drop acid, and then running back Lynn J. Dixon is also in the portal. So that's what they lost. That's a lot.
Yep, that's a lot.
But let me talk to you.
What they bring back in? What they return?
Yeah, the money, buddy. They got money. Cornerback Gabe Judy Lally coming in from the BYU Cougars. He's got to be 31 years old because he's playing at BYU. They also brought in, and that's a 4-star transfer get. That's BYU's best secondary or best guy in the secondary. They also got BYU's best linebacker Keenan Peely. All right, coming in from the BYU Cougars as well. Offensive tackle John Campbell from the Miami Hurricanes. Offensive tackle Andrew Carrick from the Texas Longhorns. Defensive lineman Omar Norman Lott coming in from Arizona State. Wide receiver Dont'e Thornton coming in from the Oregon Ducks. I mean, they're bringing in some names. Yeah. Kicker Charles Campbell from the Indiana Hoosiers. Tight end McCollin Castles from UC Davis with Dan Hawkins. It's a sneaky good get. Everyone, a lot of people in the country wanted him. So look, Thornton, by the way, the Oregon transfer was a 4-star. They got a lot of 4-stars in here. Now, I mean, would you say they won the portal? They definitely had more that left than came, but
yeah, it's tough.
Wash, call it a wash.
I'd say it's a wash. I wanted them to get some more secondary help. They needed help in the secondary. You know, and I don't think they did that enough of that. They didn't get enough elite, Yeah,
they just got the kid from BYU,
right?
Really, right?
And they should have worked. That should have been all they've been focused on, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, the defensive side of the ball, we're going to talk about that because that was a big X factor. I think if they're trying to get to, to win the SEC championship, obviously Georgia's a problem for everyone in college football right now, but specifically, I think the defensive side of the ball. Let's talk about the offense because they were the number one scoring offense in the land last year.
Absolutely.
26th in rush offense, 5th in pass offense, number 1 in total offense. Josh Heupel doing it. Now, Hendon Hooker, he's in the NFL.
Yeah. That's a problem.
Only 5 starters are back on this offense that was so dynamic a year ago. They lost the wideouts too. So, it's going to be interesting because they did lose some guys. Now, Joe Milton, he's got a rocket fucking arm. He is the Michigan transfer.
The Michigan man.
Yeah. And, I know he started for Heupel's first couple games that they lost. Still, he looked good in the bowl game. They also have Nico Lalaleva. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he comes in from Long Beach, 5-star recruit, Long Beach, California. You also have Navy Schuler, he's Schuler's son, deep on that rotation.
Right.
There we go. There we go.
The governor.
Let's go. Also Gaston Moore, but I expect it to be Milton and then Nico probably starting next year. What do you make of Joe Milton? You think that's how big of a hit is that?
I mean, it's definitely a hit, no matter what. Now, even if Milton's great, and they are, which I don't think he's just not Hooker. And the offense, you can't expect this offense to be exact what they did last year with under Hooker. Milton's gonna be good. He's the quotes already coming out. Heupel's like, he's working very hard. Now it's not a great sign. If you like how if the best thing you like is how much he works, you like, not produces. Not the best.
So he doesn't have the mobility, I don't think, but he's
definitely a freak. He's huge.
Definitely got the rocket arm.
Yeah, he's got the arm. He's like an Anthony Richardson style, like size athlete, but he doesn't move like that. I think he'll be good enough. He was great in that Orange Bowl.
That was really impressive.
It was very
Clemson's
impressive.
Defense was the one thing that was good.
So they're gonna drop down a little bit just out of just because they peaked with that last year. But I think Hooker was amazing. Like you said, if Hooker did not get hurt, who knows what could happen.
They bring back Jaylen Wright at the running back spot. They also have Jabari Small. Running back situation looks okay. Wide receivers you circle, but I'm not real worried because Brew McCoy, who was a former 5-star from Texas and USC, this guy's transferred all around the country. He's back, and then they got a great Tennessee name there. Squirrel White.
Love Squirrel White. Didn't get recruited because he's a little squirrel.
Oh man, the Guy can play, and then they bring in Dont'e Thornton from the Oregon Ducks. Squirrel is sitting there 5'10", 165, but he's electric. Get him the ball.
Gotta give Squirrel the ball.
And so, between White, McCoy, and Dont'e Thornton, the Oregon transfer, I think the wide receiver room, I'm not questioning anything.
Oh, I'm not worried about the skill players. And then you didn't even get to the running backs. I think that's the best tandem in the SEC.
Oh, no, Jaylen Wright and Jabari Small. You mean? Yeah.
Jaylen Wright. Jabari Small.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely make that case. That's why you have a guy transferring out to Georgia. Tight end Jacob Warren is back. And remember, they bring in the UC Davis transfer. So the tight end position, Jaylen Wright as well. I mean, tight end seems really sound. Really, it's hard to find weakness here. Maybe is it the offensive line? But they returned 3 of 5 on the offensive line, but they are breaking in left tackle John Campbell from the Miami Hurricanes.
Right. They lost Darnell Wright, of course, the big star. He was drafted 10th overall.
Both those offensive line transfers from Texas and Miami penciled in to be day one starters. So that's why I think you could argue that they won the portal.
Yeah. Okay. The return 3 and a guy from Miami and Texas that are going to start, that's not going to be the problem.
Yeah.
It's all going to come down to Milton.
Yeah, I think so. And Milton and the defense, because let's talk a little bit about this defense.
Talk a little bit about the defense. Like as we said, the skilled position, they're all fine.
But there's no way you have the offense finishing first this year.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, they're loaded though. Their roster is loaded.
The non-con is not tough either. So defensively, Tennessee was the 35th best scoring defense in the country, 20th in rush defense, 128th.
Pass defense was not good.
90th in total defense. That's not gonna cut it.
Well, I will say this for them, for their defense. The numbers aren't good, and their secondary was bad, and they still look bad. Although that's kind of the way the offenses are in that, as you see everything spread out, you're going to have numbers. And the way their offense is, putting up 45 points a game, there's going to be a lot of throw. People aren't going to be running. The people got to throw just to keep up with you.
Yeah.
And when it came down to it, their defense made plays in some games when they needed first pit. They locked down.
Yeah.
They held down Levis from Kentucky. They held him to 6 points. You know.
I mean, you're right. And the defensive side of the ball does return 7 starters.
And they shut down Clemson at Orange Bowl too.
Clemson's offense shut down itself all year.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm not trying to shit on Tennessee, but I'm just saying Clemson's offense was not good last year.
I'm saying they outperformed some of their bad numbers.
Sure. The defensive line only returns 1.
Yeah.
And defensive tackle Amari Thomas.
I will say that besides the secondary, I'm a little worried about their pass rush as well.
They get better hope. Omar Norman Lott from Arizona State coming in, but also Tyler Barron. They're hoping to step up, and same with Karat Garland. But yes, I would circle the defensive line. Linebacking core, they do return Aaron Beasley.
No, Aaron Beasley.
Son of Aaron Beasley.
Yes. Son and father of Aaron Beasley. Aaron Beasley. He's just amazing.
They got him and Peely coming in from BYU. That makes a decent tandem. They're counting on Roman Harrison to who got 1 start a season ago. To be the third. So linebacking looks all right. Secondary was where we go. At least they return a ton.
Right.
You know, like they return Tamarian McDonald. They return Slaughter. Danico Slaughter, also Kamal Haddon, and Jaylen McCullough. They're counting on Wesley Walker, who's another great name. New York Jet.
Yes,
California
85.
Golden
Wesley
Bear.
Walker, Ken O'Brien,
He was a stud.
Brendan Todd.
Hopefully he plays like Wesley Walker, because look, he's a senior coming at the free safety spot. He did get 2 starts a season ago, so maybe that's the guy. Yeah, I mean, they return. No, they don't. They bring in a punter, Colby Morgan, and also the kicker Charles Campbell comes in from Indiana. So, buddy, the defense, where are we at with it? You think it's gonna take a big jump? You think it's gonna take a big jump?
I think they'll improve a little bit.
I think they'll improve because I think I know the non-con wasn't amazing last year with UT Martin, Akron, and Ball State and Pitt. They might as well join the MAC, but Pitt is certainly better than Virginia. So
Pitt is better than Virginia. I mean, Aaron Beasley's just an absolute beast, and he's going to get better, which is incredible. But I think just the style, like I don't think they're going to score 50 points a game like that again. So that alone will help the numbers at least. I mean, it'll still be a racetrack pace, you know. Well, that's what Heupel likes to do.
But say that their offense scoring that fast, that puts a lot of pressure on that defense.
Puts a lot of pressure. So I think, and with the way they run the ball, I think they'll slow down a little bit. They're not going to slam the brakes at all, but you know.
Yeah, Tim Banks got his work cut out for him on improving the defense. Yeah, by the way, the offensive side of the ball, we didn't touch on. Alex Galesh taking the South Florida job. I don't think that matters that much because they're running Heupel's, Art Briles, offense. The new OC is the former quarterback coach Joey Hazel, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And I don't really. That doesn't. I mean, no disrespect to Joey, but it's Josh's offense. I feel like they're going to be fine.
It's Josh's fine. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not worried about that.
So, all right. Look, folks, we're going to get to looking at the schedule, going game by game for the Tennessee Volunteers. But before we do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Yes. Sign up to the Patreon to get access to exclusive contests, including the NFL win totals contest with $1,000 first place prize. Besides the season-long contest, they also have weekly contests just for the patrons, plus a monthly SGP Stories podcast, completely ad-free and full of behind-the-scenes stories from SGPN. There's even a Discord channel just for the patrons. Only you can prevent corporate gambling. Do your part and sign up today. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. All right, we are back on the college football experience, and hopefully you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. And remember, this is the hub for all of our college podcasts. All right. I host the college football experience. We also host the FCS college football experience. Maybe there's some UT Martin, some Chattanooga, some East Tennessee State Buccaneer fans out there. All right. Tennessee State, Eddie George, right? Check out that podcast. Also the college basketball experience. Rick Barnes been building up this Tennessee program. There should be fire when the college basketball season hits. I will be here each and every single night of the season, and we'll have some preseason episodes coming in the coming weeks. Also the college baseball experience, myself and Noah Beanick. Noah, Tennessee keeps a good baseball program, and they definitely have a little fuck you behind there. I love they were rocking the fur coat when they hit a homer.
Yes, I love the fur coat. Absolutely.
The rest of the SEC was going crazy. That's disrespectful.
It was fantastic. It's the only good thing that happened to baseball in the last 20 years. God forbid people were having fun out on the fucking baseball diamond. My God.
Subscribe to the college baseball experience.
And, fun over there.
Yeah, it is fun.
College baseball experience is fun.
And also check out we have the Big 12 experience too. If any Big 12 fans out there, we come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. But all those other feeds are separate podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. Get over there. Remember also to check out the Bottom Line Bombs podcast.
Yes, sir.
Hosted by CJ Sullivan, the man in the box. All right, well, look, if you are watching on YouTube right now, you see the sweet graphic. Shout out to Cam. The win total sitting at 9.5. They won 11 last year. Remember, that bowl win doesn't count on your total. So they basically won 10 in the regular season.
Okay.
So they hit the over a year ago.
Well, obviously not. They would hit this over. What was their over? Was like 6.5.
Yeah, it was like 6.5, 7, something like that. But here we are, week 1. This game's ridiculous to me. Why play this in
I'll just say right now, before we even break down the schedule, looking at 9.5, what's your first impression there?
I expect a little regression.
Yeah,
they went undefeated in 1-score games last year.
Just coming in generally,
they lose their starting quarterback.
Got to be regression.
Yeah,
this looks like it's screaming under already. Before even taking a dive into the schedule.
Yeah, well, I know they play Alabama every year.
Yeah,
so that's already like okay. I think Saban might have that one circle that's in Tuscaloosa. So, and they play. I know they're going to play Georgia. So right there, that would tell me that there's no room for error after that. But let's get to it because week 1. For some reason, they're playing one of these corporate NFL games at the Titan Stadium. Yeah. I hate it. This should be in Knoxville. Should be in Charlottesville. I don't care.
This is versus Virginia in Nashville.
Yeah.
What am I reading here?
Why do this?
What is
I don't understand why they do this now.
Because Nashville, you get the bachelorette parties. They take it over Vegas, and they get the bus on a bike, and you pedal that down, and you go to Tootsie's, and you get.
Yeah, well, it's terrible because, dude. You catch a game at Neyland Stadium. It's like one of the best college football experiences you can. Why not just play this at Neyland?
I know.
It's killing me. No Virginia fans travel anyway. They haven't fucking traveled since George Welsh in 1997.
That's the thing. They want them to come to Nashville. Get
this
fucked
is
up.
A neutral site game.
Yeah, go to Jason Aldean's. Get yourself a goddamn.
Dude, Virginia might be the worst Power 5 in all of America. The spread is already. I saw it at 28.5. I'll actually lay it too.
Woo, boy.
I would lay it because I have no faith in Virginia. What are you doing here? 1-0?
Oh yeah, 1-0. 28.5. That's
how bad Virginia is. Their offensive line was terrible last year. Now maybe Virginia's defense will be a little. They were all right, but maybe they can sustain them a tiny bit. But no, I don't see it happening. Week 2, the Governors of Austin Peay coming into Knoxville. I bet you Austin Peay keeps it closer than Virginia does. How about that?
That's a nice little play.
There you go.
I like that.
But still 2-0.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, September 16th, they head to the Swamp where they've only won twice since 1971.
Great rivalry.
This is a great rivalry.
This is the old Spurrier-Payton rivalry.
Yeah.
And can't spell citrus without UT, he would say.
Buddy, look, I'm not very high on Graham Mertz in Florida. I understand this is a legit home field advantage, and that matters. But I do think Tennessee is a better team than Florida. I got them winning in Ben Hill Griffith Stadium, and they can argue about who created Gatorade or whatever the fuck. But give me the Vols to move to 3-0.
This is a tough one, obviously. Early on.
Very tough.
Very.
What are you doing here?
I think I'm going the Gators. If you ain't Gator, you're Gator bait. But I'm saying this is what I'm looking at for the regression. Those tight games you were talking about that they won last year. Yeah. Some aren't going to go this way. I mean, there's going to be obviously Milton's first test coming out, and I think this is going to, going to decide a lot in the season.
First road test. Look, I worry more about the game after. I think UTSA and Frank Harris could be a sneaky game there.
Damn right it is.
That's what's hilarious. They probably scheduled this 10 years ago when UTSA was ass, and they actually end up being the tougher challenge than Virginia. I still think they should be 4-0. They should be 4-0.
Yeah, they should be. And we're high on UTSA, both of us. Yeah, this year I like them a lot. This year
you got them 3-1. I got them 4-0. Now there's no way they're losing this game because South Carolina, I thought, ran it up last year. There is 0%.
They were feeling themselves in that towards the end of the season last year. South Carolina.
They are not winning in Knoxville.
Oh man, they were
not winning in Knoxville.
Parents were out of town and they were throwing a rager that last couple times, last couple of weeks there in South Carolina.
So I got them. I got Tennessee 5-0 at the bye week. They'll be top 10. Everyone's talking about them. And then I think Bobby Petrino, aka Road Rash Face, and Texas A&M come into Neyland and get it done because they're going to be looking ahead to the Alabama game, and I think that's a loss. 5-1. I'll say this: between the Florida game and A&M, I feel like they'll lose one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you got to win this one?
No, I don't. Like I said, I'm also big on A&M this year, and I think they have this is going to be a lot of talent on the field.
Yeah,
this game for sure. You know what I mean? And of course, once we get Jimbo Fisher, I think, like I said, this is part of the regression. So I think A&M flexes out this year as well.
So that's 2 losses for
me.
you,
Yeah.
1 for me, and then they head to Bryant-Denny Stadium in Alabama. And look, Saban, I think, knows last season they rushed the field. It's just there's no way Tennessee's winning. Like there is to me like a 0% chance Tennessee's winning this game. And I'm not an Alabama fan. I would love to see Tennessee win this game, but I just think like Saban holds those grudges. That's what makes him great.
It's amazing. I mean, I'm high on Alabama. I feel like I'm high on everyone. High on Alabama this year. Bounce back season. The time you don't want to look down on them, even though they're the second odds. This is when they get you. I still don't even know their quarterback, but it's amazing. But I still have so much belief. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And they the only team they ever lose to in Tuscaloosa is LSU.
All right.
So this is the second loss for me. Once again, the win total is at 9.5. They can't afford another loss. For you, this would be number 3. This would be the under already cashing by October 21st.
Let's do it. Number 3.
See, now there's also this incredible stat about teams that play Alabama the very next week. They normally struggle. So that makes this game at Kentucky back-to-back away very dangerous. Devin Leary coming in. Now Tennessee has owned Kentucky, I feel like, for the most part. So I'll even say Tennessee gets this, even though I feel like I'm being a little generous between Florida and Kentucky here, but I'll say they get it.
Yeah, they get Kentucky.
Then they're home to friend of the program, Jim Mora, and the UConn Huskies for homecoming. That should be a win. You with you got a UConn upset?
We love what Moore is doing up there in Stores. I love what he's doing up there. But yeah, no, they get UConn.
Yeah. So now they host they don't host. They head to Farrow Field in Columbia, Missouri to take on the Missouri Tigers. This is another look ahead spot because Georgia's coming to town the very next week, and everyone's been talking about this game since January. I got them losing at Missouri.
I like this. I like where your head's at with this.
Spot. It'll be a little cold November 11th.
I like what you're saying here. Give me that. Give me that loss in Missouri.
That's a third loss. I am on the under, and guess what? The very next week, I do think Georgia beats them again. That is a fourth loss for me.
Yeah.
And then they're home to Vanderbilt. So an
improved Vanderbilt team, I will say. And they blanked them last year. Speaking of their defense, Tennessee shut them out.
Oh yeah, that was an ass whooping. That was an ass whooping. So, buddy, I actually really think this is a lock.
Rivalry game too.
Do you have them beating Georgia by chance?
No, of course not. But I do not have them beating Georgia. But I will. And I tell you what, that Vanderbilt game is going to be tricky for them. I mean, it's a rivalry game. It always is.
Yeah.
And Vanderbilt, they'll get the win just to finish the season out and win. But I love the under here.
I love the under too because I'm still giving them the Florida game. I'm giving them the Kentucky game where I just don't see. I don't see them beating all those teams. They would have to beat A&M, Alabama, or Georgia to hit the over. One of those, and I just don't see it happening, especially with the way the schedule aligns. So I am on the under. I still think Josh Heupel's doing a great job, and I still think the following year they might even have an even better team.
Right.
So
as Josh Heupel said himself, the future is scary bright.
It is. It really is. But I actually think this is a lock for me. Okay. I feel very good about this under.
I love it too.
Like I'm actually really going to bet this.
Well, what do I have them at? 5?
Yeah, you have it 7-5. I have them at 8-4.
Yeah, that's a bit aggressive, but yeah. Either way,
yeah,
you get to 9.5, and it was at 9 earlier. So I mean, obviously they're fun. They're a fun team to bet on. So people are going to bet the over with them, just the way that offense was.
I love the under here. Like get over there, bet this thing.
Okay.
Folks, look, before we get out of here, I had a chance to sit down with Michael Barker, aka College Football Campus Tour, to talk about his experiences down to Neyland and Knoxville, Tennessee. So with no further ado, let me load that up here because he was definitely talking about that. One of the best college football environments. Here it is. Joining me on the College Football Experience Tennessee Volunteers 2023 season preview episode is none other than Michael Barker, aka College Football Campus Tour. Wait, what? Yeah, College Football Campus Tour on Twitter. Give it a follow because Michael has been to every single FBS stadium. He goes to like 5 or 6 or 7 games a week when the season's rolling along. He documents it all on his page. It is a must follow. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show to talk a little Tennessee Volunteers in Neyland Stadium.
Yeah, thank you, Colby. And this is a big one right here. So excited to get into Neyland.
Yeah, I mean, look, I had the opportunity, but feel like it was like 2003 or 2004 to go to a game here. Unbelievable experience, folks. And this is like college football, the way college football should be. Obviously, last season, I think if you had asked anyone about college football, what's the most memorable game, it would have been the Alabama upset and the fact they brought the goalposts to the Tennessee River. Unbelievable. That is college football. But yes, when I went, man, we partied on we tailgated on a pontoon boat, and we went into the game. It was raining. It was a wild game. But tell me about your the history of this stadium and essentially how many times you've been here.
Yeah, so the history is very interesting. It was built in 1921, and it has 3,200 seats. The original name was Shield Watkins Field, and it was later renamed Neyland Stadium after General Robert Neyland, who had 3 stints as Tennessee head coach between 1926 and 1952. The reason it's so remarkable is now the stadium has 102,000 seats. So 3,200 to 102,000 in 102 years is just amazing. The biggest crowd they've ever had was 109,061 versus Florida in 2004. It was a 30-28 win. And their overall record there is 485, 141, and 17, which is a win percentage of 76.7%. And as far as my experiences there, I didn't get to have the same experience as you because I went there during the COVID season. It was a blessing and a curse because you wanted to go to football and you get to go to the SEC because they were allowing fans, but it was only 25 or 30% capacity. And the game I went to was particularly disappointing. That quarterback, Jared Garantano, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. He threw 2 pick-six in the first half. Kentucky beat them 34-7. So, you talk about Twitter polls and things that I put on social media. Tennessee is the #1 stadium that I have my target for this year to get an experience like you did. The biggest FOMO I had maybe ever. I went to a doubleheader at Long Island and Fordham last year, and it was at the same day as Alabama, Tennessee. So I don't want to miss out on that. I want to have an experience like you. I want to jump in the Tennessee River. I want to do all that stuff. So hopefully we can make it happen this fall.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. It's one of the folks. I say this. I haven't been to nearly as many stadiums as Michael, but I can tell you what I loved about this stadium was the fact it's right. You have it's right in the middle of their downtown. So you have bars and restaurants and stuff right outside of the stadium, and also the Tennessee River. Like I said, I was on a pontoon boat. Unbelievable experience, and I highly recommend it. And Michael, look, I appreciate you hopping on the show, and I'm curious to see when you go this year. I can't wait to hear your review of it, but also maybe one day in the future we can meet again at Neyland Stadium for another Vols game.
Man, you made the experience sound good, so I gotta do that myself. And to be a part of 102,000 people striped out at night, fireworks by the river, sounds amazing. So hopefully we can make it happen.
There we go, man. Folks, everyone give him a follow on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour. I'm telling you, just trust me on this. It is a must follow because it does great work. Does the photo of the game. I'll show you the history. It's just a must follow. Michael, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. And I'm excited to see your travels this year, man.
Thank you, Colby. I appreciate you having me on your show as always.
Michael Barker. Yes. Folks, he's
get
doing
out there.
Fantastic.
If I can tell you what, folks, if I can tell you one thing, it's get yourself a Carl Pickens jersey and get yourself down to that stadium.
Get out there on those pontoon boats before the game. All right, Tennessee Volunteer Football. They do college football right.
They do.
All right?
They do.
Folks, give CJ Sullivan a follow on Twitter at CJ Sullivan _. Check out the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. It is a must subscribe. All right. A must subscribe. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. I don't know. Follow if you want.
Yes,
all right. The College Football Experience. Now that's what you should follow. It's on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Also subscribe to all of our other podcasts. Yes. The College Football Experience, the FCS College Football Experience, the College Basketball Experience, the College Baseball Experience. We even got the Big 12 Experience. The SEC's coming. Don't worry. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast as they break down all 32 NFL teams as well. Get the SGPN app for free in the App Store and Google Play Store, and hop on over to the Discord. Talk a little Vol sports with us. All right, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All right, folks, until next time, we're locking up the under
Yes.
This is the college football experience, Tennessee volunteer style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot.